Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing this 1957 Corvette from Matchbox. Now this build originally I had started because I was entering the Diecast Graveyard's 1,000 subscriber build, drag car or gasser or whatever. Unfortunately I didn't get to finish it in time. And then it sat on the back burner for a couple months until recently I picked it up again and started working on it. So here we have it. And let's build ourselves a gasser. You can see it's a 1998 casting. Should be fun. And of course, as always, we have to drill out rivets to separate the chassis, body, and interior. So let's pick out a drill bit here. It looks about the right size. Oh, we'll go ahead and use this one. Now, I don't recommend drilling out the rivets while you hold it by hand. Since this was filmed a long time ago, you guys know that now I do it inside of a vise. No longer do it like this, because this is very safe, as you will see. Let's drill a little bit more. Got plenty of metal on these rivets. That should work. Now let's get to this front one. Little bit more. All right, so now we can pry it a little bit here. Looks like the front might need just a tad more drilling. There we go, that should do it. Now we can get this separated. You guys see the interior is all white. Looks like the glass is riveted in, so we'll have to drill that out. Have two rivets holding on the windshield here. Got to be careful not to break the plastic. That should just about do it. Let's put a little pressure on there and see if they'll pop off. Oh, a little more metal. That should just about do it. And there you have it. So I decided I wasn't going to keep this car a hard top. And we're going to tape off the front of the windshield here and take our jeweler's saw. We're going to cut through the rest of the roof here, because I really want the interior detail that we're planning to do to show, you know, on film. The only way to do that is to get rid of the roof, especially since I'm planning to do a black interior, and black doesn't show up a lot of detail on film. It'd be much easier without the roof. Plus, I think it'll look cool for a gasser to be a convertible. Now let's cut right through this. There we go. We can always save that piece for another build. Let's take a look and see if we damaged our windshield. All right, it looks pretty good. So we didn't crack it. It's not scratched up. We'll just have to clean up the back edge where we cut. And let's get a look at what it'll look like as a convertible. Yeah, that's gonna work. Open the mouth of the Corvette. I'm gonna have to remove all this metal here. And once we've removed most of the metal, we'll take this cutting wheel and remove what we couldn't get with the jeweler saw. So there we have our nice big mouth hole. Removed all the metal. We'll just have to go back and clean it up a little bit with the file. And I ground out a little bit of the wheel well to fit some nice big chunky tires back there. Only thing left to do is cut a hole in the hood, because I'm planning on using the motor from the jerry rig Nova wagon. And now it's time to remove some paint. So we dunked it in our citrus strip, which, as you guys know, takes forever to remove paint. It's not like the old paint stripper I used to use, where you can just sit here and watch it crinkle up in a couple minutes. But I fast forwarded the video as much as I could. Next few minutes is going to be pretty silent because I don't have a lot to say while this is sitting here crinkling up. It's just the usual, the paint coming off. So for those of you who like watching this, I'll go ahead and leave it in, and then we'll sit back and watch the paint peel. So let's go ahead and drill some rivets here on this wagon, because I'd like to steal that engine out of it. It's going to look great with those stacks sticking through the hood. So getting the engine out cost me a drill bit and a chunk out of my thumb, but it looks good. It's perfect for what we need. And now I drilled a hole in the hood, so we're going to have to shape it to the square we need for the stacks to stick out. And now we got a little bit of color on the engine here. I went with a nice bright green. It'll have a good contrast to the paint color that we've chosen. So now we got to add a little bit of white to our headers to get a nice flat white nostalgic look to it. And here I'm just cleaning up some of the rough edges that were left after cutting the square out with the jeweler saw. It actually came out nice. The hole's just big enough, and we got it centered, so it should work for what I need. And of course, before paint, we have to putty up sections this casting had. The rear suspension molding in the chassis, tube to make a diameter for the dash. And we're going to use some of this tubing for the roll bar. Next, I'm going to use this bigger tubing for the gas tank. Vanilla putty on the ends, and we should be good. Oh, rather nice, I think. So on to paint we go. A little bit of blue, a little bit of white. Should come out pretty nice. That's exactly the two-tone I wanted. And now for a couple decals. All right. Now that we have the body painted, of course, we don't want to scratch it. So down goes our towel, and let's get a look at the decals I'm not too happy with. This was the second round, and as you can see, as soon as the clear is applied, they kind of lifted off of the body. Really not happy with these. This one kind of smeared when I ran the Q-tip across it. Here's our interior. And now it's going to be time for a little bit of assembly. Not our complete assembly, but piece by piece, as we got to get the engine in first. So you can see we got it all painted up with the Molotow on the stacks, the white on the headers, green for the block. We'll try and get it centered here before we glue it in. That's going to look good. There we have it. Nicely centered. Looks great. And now with our engine in, we can put our interior into the car. As you can see, we've glued our tachometer in and our shifter. It's a really nice detail that shows up on the black paint there. Come on, camera, focus. That's going to look awesome. So now we're going to get the rear wheels glued in. And I put a little tubing over them to kind of make sure they stay in. A little bit of glue. Then I wipe it with the kicker. And that'll make it solid. So now we're going to get the wheels put in. I got the rear sitting in there, all glued up. And now we're going to try and get the leaf springs glued in. I think this was the more difficult part of the build because it took a couple times, a couple different sets of leaf springs that I scratch built to finally get the right height and wheel location. And now it's time for the front wheels. I chose to go with the white wall on the front, kind of play off of the white two-tone that the Corvette has. Let's see if we can get these centered in. And then we'll put the caps over them to glue them in, make them a little more solid. And there we have it. Now it's dried and solid. Let's see if it'll fit with the body. Looks like they're pretty solid. Let's get them mated back up here and give it a test fit. That looks cool. Just a couple details left. So here you have it, guys. The final on the 57 Corvette Gasser. As promised, built like a gasser. Looks like a gasser. This is the epitome of what a gasser is. Of course, we can't do all the minor details because it's such a small scale. I'd be working on it forever. But I'm very happy with the way it came out. Cool little gas tank there with the fuel lines. White wall front tires. Fender well headers. Looks awesome. Love the stacks coming out the hood. Got some nice meats on the back. As you can see, we sanded the rubber on the tires to give them a little more of a realistic look. All the chrome on the car was done in the Molotov. And if you could tell, there's a tachometer on the dash, handmade. Shifter was handmade. Roll bar was handmade. All the suspension, of course, was handmade. Just the only thing I wasn't happy with, like I said before, was the decals on this. I won't be using those again, or at least that brand. But I love the color on this thing. It's intermediate blue with the satin gloss on it. Just came out awesome. And I really love the way the fender well headers follow the shape of the body. Follows the fender, comes all the way down to the bottom of the body line. Looks really, really cool. So I'm very happy with this build. Hope you guys like it too. So make sure to give it a thumbs up at the end of the video if you liked the work we did here. Let me give you guys a quick look underneath. So you can see we didn't do too much detail, just the engine transmission there. These are leaf springs. And we deleted all the rear suspension on the chassis. Of course, we made our own rear end there. But an absolutely awesome build. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, especially all the recent subscribers. You guys have really been pumping up my videos here. Got over 1,000 views on our last video. It's absolutely awesome. And we're going to be looking forward to another build coming up next week. I'm going to have another one finished for you guys. One more look at the interior here. Man, did that come out nice. Love the way that tack looks on the dash. That's just pretty cool. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Tell a friend. Like I stated before, anytime we hit the 100 mark on our subscriber list, and I mean verified subscriber list, we're going to do another giveaway, which of course would be a custom car of viewer's choice. Man, that's a cool gasser. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.